Good evening or good afternoon in Canada. Thank you, David, very much for joining me. Incredibly grateful for your time this afternoon, this evening, and thank you for watching and joining us tonight. I'm delighted to welcome David Greenspan to the Evening Learnings podcast tonight. I have a pleasure of listening to David twice at the NAR Realtor Conference in San Francisco last year, and I was blown away by your content. I think Luke was blown away by your content because he won a hat. So he's still got that baseball bat and baseball hat, and he's very, very grateful. But David, obviously I know you. You've been in realtor for about 15 years, is my understanding. You do marketing for realtors in Canada and America. And the content that you share is absolutely fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to this. Slightly nervous to have such a fantastic speaker on. So thank you. Andy, thanks for joining us. Awesome guest. David is an awesome guest. So looking forward to this. So tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into realtor, how you got into marketing, and go from there.
Yeah, first let me say, Stephen, very grateful that you've invited me to come on the show today, and hello to everybody watching. I'm looking forward to meeting each and every single one of you, and go figure. We met back in 2019 in November, and we're already about 12 months, almost 13 months removed from that time. But the days fly like this, and it's good to hear that everybody, for the most part, is doing well and managing through this difficult time we've had. And I know a lot of people have been struggling with 2020 itself and, everything that's gone on. And I truly believe that there's a lot to learn from 2020. I believe that there's a lot of opportunity that we can all take to look back and ask ourselves, what did this teach us, rather than what was the frustration part? We're all dealing with different frustrations right now, but if we look at society as a whole, I believe that people started to be a little bit friendlier with each other. People started to pick up their heads out of their phones a little bit more when we were able to see each other and talk to each other more. And all that time, and time is always a underlying theme to everything we do. For all that time that we were spending at home with family and loved ones, that, sort of this forced time to do this. It's that same time that prior to COVID, we were all asking for it. We don't have enough time. We're always too busy. We never get to do the things we want. Well, this forced this upon us. And now it's that opportunity to really, sit back and observe and analyze and see what we learned and take that forward and use it to propel us to move into 2021.
100%.
So I think that there's a lot of opportunity ahead, and I believe this is an exciting year ahead, although we have no idea what's in store for us just yet. We can also choose to look at it any way we want. We can choose to, like some people did at the beginning of March when everything hit, to hide out, to bury their heads in a corner and say, I'm not doing anything. I'm not going to sell. I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to market. I'm not going to communicate. And then there was those other people that really stayed status quo. And it wasn't about necessarily going out there and pitching your message as a, perfect time to buy or perfect time to sell. Instead, though, just that connection point, staying in touch and building relationships, because that's what this business is all about. Now, yeah, I mean, sorry, you asked, tell us more about you. And here I go off on 2020, 2021. But it's an exciting time of year right now, right? We are going through that process of moving into, what does the next 365 days of our world look like? And I think that when we can break down what we ultimately want in life into small, tiny little increments, which always comes right back to our bottom line of time, we can really achieve some amazing things. So for myself, I have now been in the industry for about 16 years, servicing realtors, educating realtors, doing marketing for realtors, helping realtors achieve their next level of success. We started a company called Kits Keep in Touch Systems some 16 years ago. That came out of myself going and being a licensed realtor, being certified to sell mortgages, building houses, going to school for marketing, and somehow going full circle and offering a marketing system to real estate agents. And in that time, as we all want to do more business every single day, it would be beautiful if deals just landed in our lap. If every morning we woke up, we could just open the front door and there was a deal. Life doesn't work like that. It really is about what we're going to do to get out there and build mindshare. And so how are we building mindshare? Who are we communicating with? What is our messaging? What does the branding look like? And I bring that up because when we first started with what we were doing with kits, it was a hardcore sales pitch. We wanted people to learn what we were doing. We wanted people to sign up to our program. And look, we've been fortunate. 16 years later, we've got thousands of people that are using the program. It's wonderful. That said, you start to learn. And like everything else that is an evolution in life, we began to learn and we began to understand what are the challenges that realtors are facing on the day to day. Why are they using our program? Why are they not using our program? What are they looking for when they call us? Which gave us that opportunity. And this is where it's an important fundamental piece here for everybody to listen to. This gave us the opportunity to learn. And when we think about it, and we talk a lot about adding value and connecting with people. And again, I'll say a lot of times today, but building mindshare and building relationships with people. What are we doing to do that? Can it be a hardcore sales pitch? Can it be, the cold call of, hi, do you want to buy something? Is the boiler room? No, it's not the business we're in. So now it's, well, what's the approach I'm going to take to make this happen? How am I going to bring this to life? And that's where our learning through these conversations with people of trying to get them to come onto our program, we started to understand what are the challenges going on in real estate, which gave me the opportunity to open up Mindshare. And Mindshare is really a concept. Mindshare is a top of mind, intuitive, instinctive reaction to a product or service. And I'll say that again. Mindshare is a top of mind, intuitive, instinctive reaction to a product or service. Stephen, you're gonna have to help me out with this one because I don't know if it's going to be the same thing in your, part of the world. But I would tell you here in North America, when we say something like running shoes, what's the first company you would think of?
Phil Knight.
Okay, perfect. Nike, right? If we said something like soda pop, which company would you think of?
Coke.
If I said something like fast food, which company would you think of?
McDonald's.
So worldwide, we are programmed. They have built so much mindshare with us that it doesn't matter what part of the world you're sitting in. We say Nike, Coke, and McDonald's. And that's what we call mindshare. So now we bring that back to real estate. And through understanding the challenges of how to get out there and build our brand and how to get out there and get more deals and how to get out there and cultivate more leads and then convert those leads, it really comes down to every day having a focus on how can I build mindshare? And this is what we learned was instead of just trying to sell something to people, let's understand where their challenges are and then help them get out there and achieve what they ultimately want, which is more deals, more business, more success, more free time, right? Why did we get into this business? Most people got into real estate for freedom and flexibility.
Yeah.
So we want to help you achieve that. So when you build enough mind share and people ask that question and say, what do you do? Or they think real estate, we want them to think about you. That's what we're trying to help people with every day. Now, that's what Kits does.
Yeah.
But again, that was a sales pitch. That's a system. That's a service that's trying to earn your business. How do we actually communicate that? We built Mindshare. And I actually developed Mindshare 101, which becomes an education arm to the whole company, which has taken on a life of its own over the past number of years, has become a full-on coaching company, coaching and training programs from one-to-one to group coaching to trainings to, keynote presentations as where we met each other all across North America. And I mean, it's phenomenal. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they've got to go hand in hand with Kits.
Yeah.
Instead, now it's grown to become such a machine that we're really out there every day trying to figure out or trying to help you figure out how to get to where you want to go.
Well, what's scary in the UK is that 95% of estate agents don't have any stay in touch policy. So I'll give you an example. In Canada, do you own your own property?
I own my own property, correct?
And did you buy it through a realtor over there?
I did leverage a realtor's assistance to purchase this property. Absolutely.
Okay. And how many times have you heard from them since you bought the property?
0.
So you've gone into witness protection.
Absolutely.
I don't know what you did, David, to do that, but it's scary. So a lot of people are chasing new business, and I'm sure we will discuss this new business. I was listening to your podcast recently, and you were talking geo farming and what you need to do in order to go and get new business. that actually, why are realtors, why are estate agents chasing loads of new business when actually it's sat in front of them? You know, that agent presumably has built the trust with you. You've got to know them. Hopefully you like them. They gave you a phenomenal customer experience, and yet you've never heard from them again. You know, why? And I'm pleased.
Do we have all day for this one? Because, you know,
it's not just in the UK that this goes on.
if you're tuned into the Mindshare podcast and everything we're sharing, you realize my passion behind that particular question. There's something to be said that if I can hire a company to do for me, then I don't have to do. So it becomes easier in my mind to say, Stephen, I'm going to pay you, you do it. Then I can say to myself, I'm paying somebody. They're doing it for me. The fact of the matter, though, becomes that is not the easier option. See, what ends up happening is this. I rely on you to do it. You may do a wonderful job, but we realize that this business is a relationship business. We can ask any realtor and they go, yeah. You say, okay, great. What are you doing to build relationships? Well, I hired Stephen to help me do. Yeah. Whoa. What are you doing to build relationships? Now what ends up happening is somebody, and here, watch this. We're going to go right back to the time factor now. Now we get back to time factor. Somebody says, well, I hired them because I don't have the time. Why don't you have the time? Well, you know, I'm really busy. Well, what are you busy with? So again, if you don't track your time, you're not going to be able to answer the question of what are you too busy with? We know what you're trying to do is what we call a cop-out. You're trying to hire somebody else to do it for you. Well, now here's where, watch how this goes full circle now. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pay Stephen X amount of dollars a month to do that. Let's just call it $1,000 a month. I don't know, random number. Okay. The way taxes work, at least here in North America, and I imagine it's very similar, is that if I'm going to pay $1,000, I probably need to make $1,500 to pay the $1,000, right? There's taxes, but we don't take that into consideration. We just think, hey, let's go ahead and pay this person to do it for us. And we did that to save ourselves time. We did that because it was easier. We just caused ourselves to have to work harder because now I've got to go make more money than I've paid you to do the job. Where if I just did the job myself, I could have actually saved the money and saved on the effort of having to do it. And I'm going to use digital ads as a perfect example. Facebook marketing. For everybody that's leveraging social media, keep doing it. But stop paying people to do it for you. Because paying somebody to do your social media for you is like paying somebody to go to a party for you. It doesn't make sense. The same way if somebody's going to have, I don't know, Paul calls me up and says, David, it's Paul. Paul? Yeah, I'm calling on behalf of Stephen. Stephen wants to know how you're doing today. Paul, I don't know you, but why don't you tell my friend Stephen that if he really cares, he should call me himself. You see, again, we took the easy road. We figured if we can hire somebody to do it for us, because, we keep hearing this line, I shouldn't be doing these $15 an hour jobs. But isn't that what got you to where you are today? Was doing those little things, was building on relationships with people. So again, by managing time, by managing our money, we can now go ahead and figure out how to properly execute on our business so that our ROI goes up. And the whole concept here would be to work easier, spend less, and make more. Yet all we hear is work easier. Oh my God, I can pay him to do, or I can pay her to do this. And we go and we do that. But is that how we're going to build on relationships? Yeah, but I don't like making phone calls. I don't know what to say. Okay, so let's figure out what to say, and then you pick up the phone and make your call. Like, how hard is it to pick up the phone and make the call? Yeah, but I'm just not good with that. Oh, okay. So instead of you picking up the phone to make a simple phone call to your friend Stephen to see how Stephen's doing and how the family's doing, you decide to go spend $500 or $1,000 with some company to go do something for you because that was easier. So we got this whole concept of easy very mixed up. So what ends up happening now is we think if I can spend on online ads, it's easy. I'll spend, they'll deliver me leads. If I can spend on social media, it's easy. They'll post for me. If I can spend on an administrator, they'll do the little dirty work. And I don't have to do anything. Well, again, let's go back to what I just said. You've got all these expenses all of a sudden. You better go out there and make some money. So how are you going to do that? And now, again, it comes back to this whole thing. Are you working on your business? Are you working in your business? This comes back down to our audiences. I mean, here, Steve, when we look at the audiences, again, in your part of the world, is this business coming from group number one, being the people that know us, like us, and trust us? Or does the majority of your business come from the people you don't know, group number two?
I remember you doing this. So for me, it's group number one. It's for people that you know, like, and trust. And one of the things that I took away from you that I use, which I love, was David, can you get your phone up now for me? And can you go to your contacts? And can you tell me how many contacts you've got in your phone? Okay? and I'm sure that was you that said that. And you said, right, great. You've got 1,000 people in your phone. Now go and tell them what you do for a living.
That's
Because
right.
they already know you. They like you and they trust you. They're in your phone for a reason. Go and let them know what you do. Go and let them know that you're in real estate. Tell them, ask them, how long they've lived in their property. Ask them if they're curious to know what their property's worth. And if they don't, pop round there, have a face-to-face, use your charm and charisma to do it. So yeah, I can picture you now with that whiteboard and you writing, that line down the middle.
Yep.
I can trust. Okay, don't know, like, and trust, or they don't know you yet.
Which one is harder? Which one is easier? Okay. Is it? Which one seems harder? Let me ask it like that. Does it seem harder to pull out your credit card or make an online payment to company ABC? Or does it seem harder to go and enter my contact information into your CRM? Which one's harder?
Oh, everything's hard. Everything's
Look,
hard.
most people will say that the tedious hard work is entering me in the database. People don't like to do it. And that's, again, a big reason why we try to take the easier road of going out to these random strangers and spending the money so that these people could do stuff for us. But when we really look at the big picture of it all, the high level, the reality is, again, what are you doing? You're going out there and you're spending money with people to go out and talk to random strangers.
You're right.
Yes, if you just tapped into this thing, you've got 500, 1,000 people that you can connect with. It's very, very simple.
Totally agree. But then people will say, as you said earlier, I got the fear. I got fear of making phone calls. I got fear that they're going to say no to me. I've got fear, actually, that, you talk about Facebook, and for me, video, get your face out there, do videos, educate your community, let everybody know what's going on. No. Here you go. Luke's joined us, who was there. He said he's still got the baseball cap.
That a boy. Thank you, sir.
Mark Mayer, who was also there as well. Good evening.
Hello, everybody. It's good to sort of see everybody.
And me, a legend.
Well, look at it like this, right? We make it difficult to connect with those people, right? Forgive me. The as we were saying hello to everybody, I lost my train of thought on that. The question you just asked there.
That's all right. It makes two of us. I've lost my train of thought as well.
Look, we talk about the two groups, though, right? We talk about the two groups. We talk about reaching out to these people. Fear, pardon me. That's what you brought up, is fear. Here's the thing. Fear is just a bunch of made up BS in our mind. Steve, have you ever been skydiving?
No.
Okay. Me neither. I'm scared. But I know me. The personality that I've got, when I finally get myself over that hump and I jump out of that plane, I know me. The minute I land, because I'm going to land, most people land. The minute I land and I'm safe, I'm going to ask them to take me right back up there. Okay. The thing is, I can't get to that point yet because I'm too scared to do it. Now, if you ask anybody who's ever gone skydiving before, and you ask them, what is the scariest part of skydiving? Most of those people that have done it, they'll tell you the answer was when that door opened. Right? It's not getting the parachute on while you're on the ground. You're kind of jittery, but you do it, right? We get in the plane takes off and it goes up in the sky and you're going, okay, I got this. But all of a sudden that door opens and you realize, wait a second, I got to jump. Now we're scared. Ask anybody who's gone skydiving. They will tell you that's the scariest part. Ask any of those people who actually took the leap to jump out that door. they will tell you it was the most exhilarating feeling they've ever done in the world. And they realize the minute they did it, they can do amazing things. So let's look at that. You're scared to make your phone call. Why? What are you scared of? You see, when that door opens, the only thing they were scared of was the unknown. What's going to happen? Am I going to survive? That's literally, am I going to die? Like, that's what people are asking when they jump out of a plane. Well, hey, guess what? When you make a phone call, you're not going to die. There's no problem there. That's not going to happen. So what are you scared of? Are you scared of my voicemail picking up? Sounds funny, right? Are you scared of me saying this? Hello? I don't know. That doesn't seem so scary. So what are you scared of? Oh, I don't know what to say. Fine, let's do this right.
I'm scared that you're going to say no, and I'm not going to get a market.
Oh, I love it. How about this? Instead of being scared that I'm going to say no, make the call expecting to hear no. Now, when you hear no, you're not scared. In fact, you go, yeah, that's what I expected. You don't have to tell the person on the other end that you expected them to say no, but you could say in your head, that's what I expected. And now, when that person says yes, oh, what a feeling. That's like when you jumped out of the plane, quote unquote, right? The fear is gone. I did it. Now, here's the thing. I've never jumped out of a plane, as I said. So I'm scared. But Stephen, if had I jumped out of a plane and I brought up the same example to you right now, I wouldn't tell you I'm scared because I'm sitting here saying it to you. I'm telling you the story of what happened. I'm no longer scared. So if you never pick up the phone, of course you're going to be scared. The reality is there's nothing to be scared of. You've made up thoughts in your mind of what people might do. And yes, look, let's call it what it is. 9 times out of 10, you're hearing no. You'll be lucky if you get 9 no's out of 10 phone calls. You're probably going to get 5 voicemails. You might get 1 hang up. You might get 3 no's. But without those 9 no's, there's no way in the world you get a yes. Excuse me.
Bless you. I mean, Mark here says, yes, he had 2,000 views in 12 hours promoting a local shop for the owner yesterday.
Wonderful.
Which is, and again, and presumably what you're saying applies to video as well.
But here's the thing. Okay, so exactly, it does. I mean, I'm scared of video. What are you scared of? Look, did you wake up and look in the mirror? Because if you did, you look the same and sound the same as you did in the mirror. Now you just got to get on camera. Oh, yeah, but what are people going to say? Well, hold on. Do you walk into a store? Yes. Are there other people there? Yes. And you're not scared of that? So what's the difference between the camera? And look, don't get me wrong. I say that facetiously because for me, I've been doing camera for I don't even know how long anymore. So to me, it doesn't make a difference if you're in person or you're on the lens. I got it. Okay, fine. Done it a lot of times. So if you've never done it before and you're thinking to yourself, well, yeah, but fine, you're a pro. You've done it, right? I don't consider a pro. I just say that I continue to do it. I continue to learn something new every time I do it, right? So you're never going to learn if you never take the leap. So how do you get comfortable? Okay, let's try this. Start to think of something that you want to talk about. Don't even turn on a camera. Just start talking. Pick out a sign as you're driving and it'll sound silly. It'll feel silly when you're in your car talking to yourself or when you look yourself in a mirror and you're talking to yourself. It'll feel silly. But what you want to make sure of is you're not doing this where I'm talking to you and I've got absolutely no expression on my face because this is just boring. Instead, come on, light it up. But if this is not you, don't be overly exaggerated. Much the same we see the politicians always talking like this. If you don't normally talk like this, then don't try to all of a sudden talk like this. Much the same, don't have your hands glued to the side.
Yeah.
So things you're looking for, 1, figure out what you want to say. Think about the key points of what you want to say. Think about this. What do you want them to know? Why should they care? And what action do you want them to take? What do I want them to know? I want them to know that we're doing a podcast. Why should they care? Because the podcast is all about sales and marketing tips to help them grow their business. What action do you want them to take? I want them to connect with me after and download my free marketing bundle for realtors. They can do that at mindshare101.com, right? So what do I want them to know? Why should they care? What action do I want them to take? So if you're going to practice that with the sign for the coffee shop as you're driving by in your car just to get comfortable, I'm driving by the sign. It is a great sign. These guys have an amazing coffee shop. In fact, you know what? I encourage you to go in there and try out the coffee, right? Simple and plain. It's going to get more detailed as you're talking about a property, you're talking about yourself, but keep it simple. Once you kind of know what you want to say, turn on the camera. You don't have to go live. Turn on the camera. And guys, you don't need a big Hollywood recording. Use the phone. It's got a beautiful camera on it. This is the way I do all of my videos. I'm literally holding the phone with my right arm. I've got the phone on landscape. I look into the lens as opposed to down at, my screen, because if I'm looking at my screen, I'm not actually making eye contact with you. When I look at my lens, now I'm making eye contact with you. Practice. Look at the video. You're not going to like what you see. None of us do. But watch to your inflection. Do you look lively? Do you have a proper message? And it's a really nice. Are you doing too many of those? Right? Is there a lot of background noise in the back? Because we don't want to hear background noise. It's very annoying. Pay attention to some of these things. Lighting. You ever seen that person you're doing a virtual meeting with? Or they see a video and the lighting is behind them and it's coming right at the lens, so you can't really see the person? You are very well lit right now. I am well lit right now. Your skin color looks a little nicer than mine. You got a nice tan going on, but you know what I mean? We're lit. So you want to watch your lighting. You want to watch your noise. You want to watch your eye contact. You want to watch your inflection. Then just turn it on and go. You see, if you don't do that the first time, you can't get better the second time. And I do a ton of video, but I've got a series, my Mindshare 101 videos that we release every Monday. I've gone 237 weeks in a row. Never mind all the other video that's done. I'll tell you, every time I release a video, I'm like, oh, it's good. I go and I put it out there. Week later, 2 weeks later, you look back at it, you're like, oh man. Right? So you're never going to be completely satisfied with what you put out there. But do you really think we care? We don't. The world is moving so quickly. There are so many marketing messages hitting us every single day. The fact that you put out the video, do you think everybody watched it? I mean, I don't know if you mentioned you saw both sessions at NAR. So I don't know if you remember this, but we had probably, 500-600 people in the first room for the video thing. And I had asked the question, like, who here has seen my videos? And I didn't have a ton of people put up their hands.
Yeah.
And so I kind of made the joke. I'm like, oh, they're not working. Everybody starts chuckling, right? Just like that. But I knew that was the answer. We have to know that. You can't think just because you click the button, the whole world saw it. So for video, just get comfortable. Try it. Don't be scared about it. Same thing with social media. I'm going to say this. If you're on social and you're scrolling and you're looking at what other people are doing, do not be a stalker. Get out there and get involved in the conversation. Yeah, but I don't know. People they don't really care. Why? What are they going to care about what I have to say? Well, again, I'm going to ask you, did you scroll your social media today? Yeah. Did you care what other people had to say? Well, I don't know, I guess. So first, you don't even know why you went to social media today, do you? You just kind of did it out of habit, didn't you? Yeah, I guess so. So it wasn't about caring. It was about habit. All right. Let's go back again now. Building mindshare. If you're not there, when my habit kicks in, I won't see you. That's one less channel you're using to build the mindshare. Mindshare equals market share. The more I know you, the more I like you, the more I trust you, the more opportunity you get. Not the more business, the more opportunity for business you get. So let's do this again, full circle. So if you don't try to take that conversation from online, move it to offline, you just become another social media post, another feed that I see. But there's no connection. So now I ask the question, I say, well, why you? Why you and not somebody else? So now we go even a step further, and this goes back to that easy thing, and I talked about the database. So why aren't you putting people in your contact list? Oh, it takes time. Oh, I don't know if they're going to work with me. Oh, they know somebody else. Okay, cool. Well, here's the question. If it would piss you off that this person was not on your contact, or that this person didn't choose you, then they better be on your contact list. And I'm not just talking about your smartphone. I mean, they're smart, but they're not that smart. We're talking your CRM, putting them into a system, much the same like you said. If I got my contact list right here, yes, I could pick up the phone and call every single one of them. but that's all I could blast an email to them, but that's all I can do. When they're in my CRM, I can mail them. I can email them. I can put them on call lists. I can make sure I'm connected on social media. I can keep history of the fact that we met in San Francisco back in 2019. I can put all these things in there. And now I'm developing relationship. And now I'm giving myself a little bit more of a fighting chance to get your business when it comes time. Because that realtor that I used to help me buy this property, yes, they haven't been in touch at all. Will they ever get my referral again? No. Now, I'll say in the same breath here, there are two ladies that work my neighborhood. They farm my neighborhood. They don't work together. They are competitors. They are farming since the day I moved in. They are the most consistent farmers there are here. And I'm willing to bet that if they stood at the edge of my driveway, not even come into my home, stood at the edge of my driveway, they could tell me what my house is worth and they'd probably be bang on. But here's the thing. Neither of them have ever contacted me personally. So there's zero relationship. Why them? No idea. Actually, you know what? For all the effort and time they put into this neighborhood, not them. How about that? And what do you want to bet it would bother them if they found out my house was listed and it wasn't with them for all the time and money and effort they put in here?
Okay, so what would you want them to do that will make you choose them?
I want them to build a relationship. Start off by coming and door knocking my home. And I know the most popular thing out there. Okay. Everybody loves door knocking. No, wait, I got that wrong. Everybody hates door knocking, right? We hate being door knocked and we hate doing the door knock. Why? Fear of rejection. So now we look and we say, okay, well, most realtors, in fact, 96% of realtors are not door knocking. That leaves a measly 4%. Well, go ask that measly 4 how much business they get. And I'll tell you now, 99% of them tell you they get business.
Okay, so tips for door knocking then.
Send your flyer. So let's talk support material for a moment, right? Because nothing works on its own. You want to build a house, you want to put a roof on a house, you need walls. You want to put walls up, you need a foundation. You want to put a foundation in, you need footings. And you need plans. So let's map out a plan here for a second to get out there and build a little bit of a neighborhood recognition, right? First, we want to pick, and I'll use the AMH for this: audience, marketing, and hustle. Audience. Who is your audience? Homeowners? No. What neighborhood? What demographics? What streets? What mailing areas? Who is that? Identify those people, income levels, psychographics, house types, identify it all. Then we get into marketing. We say, okay, well, what am I going to do to get out there and talk to these people? Well, now we've got 7 ways to communicate. And we want to leverage all 7 ways to get out there and build mind share. So the starting point is really, what's your budget, right? How much money have you got to put towards this? And you better be willing to invest 12 to 36 months of time and money to see any return from random strangers. Oh, by the way, did we say that it was easier to work your contact list? But let's go down this road, right? We're going to go down. We want to do this. Okay, remember, if we're seeing 79% of our business for group number 1, the people that know us, like us, and trust us, we should be focusing 79% of our budget, time, and effort on those people. Yet, we go, yeah, but I don't want to make the calls because I'm scared. So I'm going to go invest all this money and all this time in these random strangers. Okay, so cool. They're only going to represent 10 to 30% of your business, and they're going to take 12 to 36 months. But if that's the way you want to go, let's do a strategy. So strategy becomes identify your dollars. How much money have you got? Then identify the channels you're going to use. Once you've identified those channels, implement them. Now, part of those channels, when you're farming a neighborhood, I'm going to say very straight up, yes, you can use your Facebook and Google ads. You should have a website out there. You should probably figure out what kind of community advertising you can get involved in, sponsorships. Go talk to local shops and do the interviews with the local owners, do the videos. Absolutely. Share what's going on in the community and send them something in the mail. Mail. Does anybody use mail anymore? Mail is the only form of your marketing that shows up to somebody's home. Now, if I get your email, I could be anywhere. If I get your phone call, I could be anywhere. If we do video, I could be anywhere. Social media, anywhere. You name it, I could be anywhere. When I get that mail, where am I?
You're at home.
What do we do for a living? We deal with the people's homes. We want to build mindshare, Nike, Coke, McDonald's. Let's connect with the home, not just with the individual. So now we're sending this flyer, and the flyer is going out to the person's home. And they've received it 2 months in a row, but they have no idea they've received it, because what do we all do with junk mail? We junk it. Right. Side note for a moment, it takes me longer to recycle that piece of paper with those 3 steps that I have to walk over to the blue bin after I physically grabbed it out of the mailbox and dropped it. It takes me longer to do that than it does for me to scroll past your social media, and then it does for me to junk your email. Okay. So as quickly as we can recycle a piece of paper, it still actually takes longer to do that. But now we got this piece of paper. And again, I recycled it, so I didn't see it. Well, so what do you do with that? Well, third month, why don't you go to the door? Why don't you have a stack of those same flyers that you sent me? Why don't you knock on the door? And when I open the door, take a step backwards, because you don't want to seem like you're stepping forwards, right? I didn't invite you in. So step backwards. Intuitively, I think, okay, you're stepping away, not stepping towards. Hand me something with a big smile. What am I going to do? Human nature, I'm going to take it from you. It's just a piece of paper. Doesn't look like a box, and it definitely doesn't sound like it's taking. So I now take the piece of paper from you, and you say to me, hi, my name is Stephen Brown with ABC Realty. Just passing by the neighborhood. I'm in the neighborhood and I'm walking around. I just wanted to know if you received this yet, if you recognize my flyer. No? What'd you say your name was? Stephen? Yeah, okay, Stephen. What can I do for you? Just wanted to see if you recognize the flyer. No, I have no idea what it is. What can I do for you? Well, that's why I'm here. I know. We normally throw this stuff out. I just wanted you to know I'm sending it to you. I am a real person. I live in the neighborhood. I work in the neighborhood. I'm a realtor with ABC Realty. Just wanted to come by and say hello, introduce myself so that you know that next time you see that, I'm not some fly-by-night realtor, but I'm actually here to help you. So if you need anything, please call me anytime. What'd you say your name was? David. David, thank you so much. Take care. Walk. So we started off by identifying the neighborhood. We implemented some marketing channels. We're sending something to the home. We're now using what we sent to support. Remember the roof with the walls with the foundation. We're using what we sent to support for those folks to now recognize this piece of paper back to this face. I'm trying to build a relationship. Some of them won't answer the door. Some of them will slam the door on your face. It's all good. Here's the next thing that happens now. Now that I'm walking away from the house and I look back because I'm at your house, I know who slammed the door in my face. I know who picked up or, excuse me. I know who slammed the door. I know who had a nice conversation with me, and I know who didn't answer the door at all. For the people that had a nice conversation with me, what do? I'm at your house, grab your address, add you to my mailing list, put you in my database. Oh, but Dave, that is so hard. All right. You go spend all those thousands of dollars to build your business. It's a simple process, but it takes effort. So we come back to AMH, Audience Marketing Hustle. Who's your audience? What kind of channels are you going to implement for your marketing? What kind of effort, hustle, are you going to put in to support it all to actually get to know me? That's the big difference. That's how we go ahead and leverage random strangers. That's how we go ahead and leverage our contact list. Now, as we go through, and I love the fact that you remember the whiteboard and the lines there, the Mindshare Model T. That's the basis of any marketing plan, any marketing budget. That's it right there. Identify your 2 groups. Start to label out what you're doing for each of those groups. Figure out how much you're spending. And again, just keep in mind this little theory that I've got, that if 70 to 9% of your business come from group number 1, that's where we should focus 79% of our effort. You will work easier, spend less, and make a whole lot more.
Brilliant. Thank you. I'm starting a new agency tomorrow.
Hey, very exciting.
I know, very exciting. If you were me, what would you do to be setting up in the area? So I know the neighborhood that I want to target. I know that I want to target houses in the area. I want to be known as the house agent. I want to get the best market share in the area. I don't have a big budget to start off with, and I'm new to the area. So as much as maybe literally just emigrated in and decided in the UK, I don't need any qualifications. I don't need to be licensed. I was a dentist yesterday. Now I can be an estate agent today. But I don't have that 79% because I'm just literally new to the country.
Okay.
What would you be doing? Because there's some people on here that I'm recognizing that are starting new businesses. They most probably don't have the contact numbers, but they want to build the business up.
A contact list should be somewhere between 200 and 700 people. So you're brand new. You've got zero. Here comes the easy one. Go hire a company, and they're going to charge you $500 to $2,500 a month, and they'll generate leads for you, right? I got my own 2 cents on the quality of those leads. That said, that was the easy answer. But I'm going to give you an easier answer that doesn't cost you that type of money. Go meet one person today. One. Could be in person, could be in a Facebook group around something that you have an interest in. I'm a big hockey fan. I got a lot of groups that I partake in that are all about hockey. And those people have something in common with me. So there's conversations to be had there. And I can now get to know somebody a little bit better and start to build a relationship. So adding one person to your database a day is not a big feat. That is not like you're climbing a mountain. Very, very simple. And it costs you nothing but effort. Now, if you want to grow your business, you better be ready to put in the effort. If you're not ready to put in the effort, forget it, put it all away. Because it doesn't matter whether you pay for the online leads and they send it to you, you have to put an effort to convert. It doesn't matter if you go out and do the work. Again, you got to put in the effort to put the work. So it really starts with that. But now what you're doing is you're going back to the AMH, like we just said, identify your audience. Well, I want homeowners. Yeah. There's a lot of homeowners. Let's start to get micro on that. What neighborhood do you want to focus on? In fact, pick the top 3 neighborhoods you want to focus on and start to identify, again, income levels, turnover rates, the types of people that are there, demographics, the psychographics, right? Try to identify that. Are they all across town and you've got to drive an hour to get there? Or can you walk your dog through there because that's where you live, right? So identify your audience. Where do you want to start building your business? You've just opened up a new agency. Wonderful. That's the area we're going to focus on. What do we do next? Marketing. Let's figure out what's our budget. I haven't got a lot of money. Okay, cool. Let's really identify what that means. Is that 100? Is that a 500? Is that 1,000? What is that? Not a lot of money. Next we do is we think about the 7 ways to communicate. And again, I'm going to encourage everybody, go to mindshare101.com, download the Ultimate Marketing Bundle for Realtors. It's right there on the homepage. It's a free ebook. It's like 31 pages long. In there, there's even a 90-day content calendar for social media. But what it does is mindshare101.com.
Okay, I will just add it on there now so people see it.
Mindshare101.com. So if they go there, they can right on the homepage, you can download the bundle. It's like I said, 31 pages. It's absolutely free. There's no strings attached. That being said, though, that'll walk you through the different ways to communicate with people. Now let's identify, when we think about, there's really not that many ways to communicate with people. And when we've got, a smaller budget, we're going to leave radio and television like right out of the mix here. So now we're going to go to some of our, what we call more traditional, which includes a website and social media in today's world. But it does not exclude the phone call or the in-person meeting. And take that lightly because of COVID, right? When it comes to in-person and however everybody's doing their thing, it's to each their own. Be sensitive to that as well these days. But when you look and say you leverage all 7 of those ways and implement those for your business, now you're going to be out there and you're going to be building mindshare with people in time that will help you build market share. Because what that is, it's a mix of active and passive touch points. Passive is where you can really deliver a business message. You are not there, so it's okay for people to, to get the so-called sales pitch, the so-called call to action, the stats, the market updates. But when you call me, when you go to see me, don't sell me. Don't even talk real estate with me. Yeah, but then how do they know what I do? No, they don't care. Like, that's the thing. You got to know. I'd rather you talk to me about hockey The more you talk to me about hockey, the longer I will talk to you. The more it's about you and your business, the more I'm going to tell you I've got other things I need to go and do. And the next time I see you, I'm going to put my hand over my eyes and be like, oh man, here he comes. And I'm going to walk away. So again, when we're mixing in the active has to be very personal, very authentic, very you. And social media borders on both of those, because social media you should be actively engaged with and you should have a purpose every time you're on there. Whereas when it comes to paid advertising and stuff on social media, that's part of the passive, because you can deliver the business message. But again, where's that message going? And that's a whole nother episode in terms of, the follow through on, generating leads and converting leads and what happens after that. Your key every day, build your database. So your effort, right? Because we identified the budget, we identified the different channels you're about to use to build that agency in that area. Your effort now is, well, what are you going to do to get out there now and actually be a face? Because a logo and a brand is just a logo and a brand. If I can't connect it to somebody, it leaves less for me to attach myself to. And then my friend who I go to the pub with, that's the person I want to deal with. So how are you becoming that person? Again, I always ask that question. Why you?
Brilliant. I'm incredibly grateful for your time. Can I just ask one final question, please?
Yes, sir.
So you interview some exceptional realtors in North America. What are the most common traits you find about high performance? What makes them high performance?
Systems and planning. I'll tell you, the basis of it all is exactly where I started us off today. Time management. It is easy to complain that you don't have enough time. But I ask you, where are you tracking your time? Steve, if I gave you an address and I said, meet me there, but you didn't know where it was, what would you do?
At the moment,
Google Maps, right? Okay. And when you got in your car and you were going there and you don't know where it is, if Google said go left, would you go left?
I would trust it before I would have my map. Before I would have my map there, and I'd be opening, stopping, looking where I'm going.
Right.
Fact,
So
if anybody watching this they most probably still think I've got my map.
Listen, I know a few people that much prefer the paper. Okay. But the question becoming, you would trust Google, and if it said go left, you'd go left. And then if it said go right, you'd go right. And then if it said, once you made that right, would you just keep driving, or would you still pay attention and listen, like where the next turn is?
Well, I would like to think I'd be paying attention.
Okay. Let's go back now and say that your calendar needs to be your roadmap. So marking down exactly what you're trying to accomplish today, that's the end of the day. We have to get to the end of the day. We've woken up. So your calendar becomes your roadmap. So last night, I planned out my route. Today, I woke up and I got in the car and I started driving. So again, today I woke up, I looked at my calendar, and the minute I saw what I needed to do, I started executing. Now, here's the thing. Habits. There's good habits and there's bad habits. A habit is a habit. And there's three elements to a habit. There's the trigger, there's the action, and there's the reward. So you think about any bad habits anybody has, there's a trigger, there's an action, they're doing it, and there's the reward, maybe the little dopamine dump. Well, much the same with your calendar. When you map out your journey last night, you wake up today and you get in the car and start driving, get to your desk, whatever, look at your roadmap, right? Look at your calendar. The trigger is that you know that you planned it out and you need to look at it. The action is that I'm now doing it. I'm doing with you. We had this in the calendar. The trigger was it's there. I'm now in action with you right now. When we're done, I'm going to be rewarded. Why? Because I'm going to mark it complete. I've just gotten one turn, one step, one, distance closer to my goal for today. So when we look at top producing realtors, people that are winning, it's because they have themselves organized, because they are mapping out time. They are leveraging time to the best ability they have. How do we leverage time? I've got a big theory around, we've heard the term work hard, play hard. I like play hard, work hard. Okay. So I like to do that the other way around. We all get up every day to go to work so we could pay bills, so we could spend time with family, so we can enjoy our free time, so we can enjoy our loved ones. Yet we go to work to do all that. Well, I want to do all that first and then work second. So the first thing I do with my schedule is I go in and I look and I map out everything called realistic time. When is my son playing hockey? When does my daughter have her dance and gymnastics? When is my wife going to her yoga? When am I playing hockey? When do I have to shovel the driveway for the snow or mow the lawn for the summer and the grass? When is that happening? Plug it in. Now that it's plugged in, I am assured that the things that I actually want to do personally are going to get done because they're in the schedule. Well, now I need to map out my predictable days with income producing activities, right? And I'm working through my IPAs, my income producing activities. Every day I've got my IPAs scheduled. And this goes back to that thing we talked about before of reactive and proactive. I can react to the leads that come in. I can react to the referral I received. I can react to the text message, the social media, the email. But being proactive is me finding 5 people to 10 people in my database every day that I'm going to pick up the phone and make a phone call to just to say hi. They didn't know I was calling. There was no schedule to that. I scheduled it. So in my schedule, there's an hour that says calls. And in that hour, I need to punch out somewhere between 5 to 10 phone calls, not follow-ups. That's a different set of calls. We're talking the IPAs, the stuff that's actually going to build my business. I need to send out some emails. I need to connect on text message. I need to go onto social media, acting with purpose, as I said, and actually engage with people, not just aimlessly scroll. So everything's going to have a place. When are you doing your admin? When are you doing your showings? When are you going to do your meetings? When do you have to write up offers? Everything. Self-development. How much are you reading? Do you read? We're all so programmed to feed our bellies during the day, at least 3 times a day when we're hungry. So we feed our bellies, but what about feeding your brain? Put something in there for self-development. Time management is the big pillar, the foundation to achieving everything and anything we want in life. You want to hit your goals? You need to manage time. You want to spend more time with family? You need to manage time. You want to make more money? You need to manage time.
Well, Mark Mayer, who saw you with me in San Francisco, just sums it up very nicely. Brilliant. So, David, I'm incredibly grateful for your time. Thank you. I know it's about 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon where you are.
Yep.
So, thank you for taking the time out. Who's gonna win the Canadian hockey season this year?
We got our fingers crossed that the hockey season's just going to begin this year. They were pegging it for January 1st. They moved it to January 4th, and now they've actually put a hold on things. So we don't know what's going to happen. We've got our fingers crossed for it. It has been a crazy ride over here for sure. And for the love that we Canucks have for our game of hockey, my son is on the ice 6 times a week. And I've just finished building a rink in the backyard for him and my daughter as well, so that if 6 times wasn't enough, we can go and play some more.
Am I going to watch him in the Canadian Olympic team at the Olympics?
Say it again.
Am I going to be seeing your son representing Canada at the Olympic Games, ice hockey?
This is just like I say to all of my coaching clients, and we've heard the lines many times before. I can lead you to water, but I cannot make you drink it. I can show you how to drink it, but I cannot make you drink it. Right? So we give him all the opportunity we possibly can. The rest is up to him, but as long as he has a whole lot of fun along the way, that's the biggest part of it all.
Brilliant. Well, look, I'm incredibly grateful for your time. Thank you very much. Thank everybody for watching tonight, listening, whether it's now or on replay. Hopefully, we'll be back at the NAR conference, seeing you speak again and being exceptional. I know you mentioned it once before, so if people want to get hold of you and download all the stuff, where's the best place? Connect with you on LinkedIn.
First, I just once again I want to thank you very much. This was a fun conversation, insightful for sure. It's wonderful to reconnect with you once again. It was great meeting you and the whole gang in San Francisco back in 2019. I look forward to seeing you guys again at the next conference coming up at some point shortly. But hopefully we see each other a lot sooner than that. Let's keep the lines open as we go forward here. Whatever I can do to be a resource for you guys, please, I invite you to leverage me. And much the same to our audience today. I thank everybody for tuning in. I hope you learned a whole bunch of stuff, and I welcome your call as well. So you can connect with me at mindshare101.com. That's my site, mindshare101.com. On there, again, download the free marketing bundle for realtors. It is loaded with tips, and it's got a content calendar in there. So that's my little gift to everybody. There's again no cost to that. You tune into the Mindshare podcast. So I've got my podcast that is available on every major podcast platform. I'd love for you to tune in. Please provide feedback, rate it, review it. Let me know what you think. If you got guests, if you anything of the above. The videos are available on YouTube at Mindshare 101. And of course, I'm all over Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn. You can find me there. Instagram, it's David Greenspan 101. So if you're paying attention right now and you got an Instagram account, send me a follow. I will definitely connect back with you and follow you back. And that's what it's all about. Much the same like on Facebook. You can follow my business page at Mindshare 101. And of course, David Greenspan, your real estate industry coach. If anybody does want to chat about one-to-one coaching, please reach out. Let's have an exploratory call and see how I can help you achieve all of those goals you're looking to achieve. All that being said, I wish everybody an absolutely amazing 2021.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Good night and sleep well tonight. Bye.
Bye, everybody.